and welcome. My name is Kyle and I'm an educator at the Vault Academy. I just want to start by saying this is not financial advice and is only for entertainment purposes. If you enjoy the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and if you want to check out my channel, it's at Firecat Blitz. So today we're going to be talking about compound interest. So we're going to have three big ideas. The first is, what is compound interest? So we're actually going to go ahead and define it. The second, we're going to go into the basics of calculating it. And finally, we're going to use the formula to solve a real life example. So first, I want to take a look at the definition of compound interest. Here on Investopedia, it says compound interest or compounding interest is the interest on a loan or deposit calculated based on both the initial principal and the accumulated interest from the previous periods. Thought to have originated in 17th century Italy, compound interest can be thought of as interest on interest. Now that's the key part right there. We're talking about our interest also gaining more interest. Now they have a little section here. Can compound interest make you rich? Yes, in fact, compound interest is arguably the most powerful force for generating wealth ever conceived. There are records of merchants, lenders, and various business people using compound interest to become rich for literally thousands of years. In the ancient city of Babylon, for example, clay tablets were used for over 4,000 years ago to instruct students on the mathematics of compound interest. In modern times, Warren Buffett became one of the richest people in the world through a business strategy that involved diligently and patiently compounding his investments' returns over long periods of time. So that's why you can see that compound interest is very important. So let's go ahead back here, and we're going to go ahead and start with an actual example of how this works. So we're going to start with 10% annual interest, and we're going to go ahead and start with $100. So the annual interest means it's going to happen once a year. So we're going to gain 10% on our original investment, or we can call that our principal. We're going to invest $100. And if we gain 10%, 10% of 100 is $10. So we have $100 plus our $10 that we gain from interest. And at the end of the first year, so this is our first year, we're going to end up with 100 plus 10, which is $110. Okay, now if we let that sit there and we don't put any more in, just that, and we let it sit another year, so we're going to have our second year, that's going to gain another 10%. So not only is our original investment going to gain interest, but our interest is also going to gain interest. So we have $110 at the start of the second year. Now we get 10% off that for this year, and that's going to be another $11. So we have $110 plus another $11, leaving us with $121. So notice we gained $10 the first year and then $11 the second year. So we actually gained an additional dollar off the interest from the previous year. And that would continue to compound as long as we let the money sit in there. Now that doesn't seem like a whole lot of money, but let's take a look at another example that might make you think differently. Let's take a look at our formula for compounding interest. That's our principal times, in parentheses, 1 plus our rate, which is our percentage rate, divided by n, which is the number of times it's compounded per year. And then we're going to raise that to the n times t power. So the number of times it's compounded multiplied by the number of years, or the time. Okay, so there's our general formula for compounding interest. Now let's take a look at an example. We have $10,000 that we want to put into an account. We're going to put that for our principal. That's our $10,000. And in parentheses, 1 plus, let's say it was compounded at a 22% interest. That's 0.22. And we're going to divide that by, it's going to be compounded daily, so 365 days. And then we're going to raise that to the n times t power. So it's the 365 days multiplied by the number of years. Let's say that we left it in there for 5 years. So multiplied by 5. Okay? If we go ahead and calculate that after a 5-year period of it compounding interest, that's actually going to end up turning from $10,000 all the way up the $30,000, $31.71. So our money in a 5-year period more than tripled. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next time.